Yeah, my name is Markus. As Hannah said, I founded several companies, and I'm currently in founding companies with big corporates. It could be a challenge, especially in all this digital transformation world. Often they are looking for something which is maybe doesn't exist. When we are at companies, big corporates, and would be asked, how did you digitalize your company? What could be a strategy? Often they're asking for you, how could we invent the next Uber, the next Facebook, the next Twitter? They want to have something really huge and big. But what is the really fiction? What is the real reality behind this? And often there is a big disclaimer between these two worlds. What I found out when we drive this type of projects is starting new companies with them. Corporates often believe that they have to find this one product for this digital transformation which helps them to scale in this new world. Yeah, because there is something like Facebook, some of these blinking stars there around, which are multi-billion dollar behind. So of course they think about, okay, I have to find this one product, and I have to scale this product in a year for $1 billion, because otherwise, if it's a small startup with 1 million, it doesn't make any sense for me to do this. And how do you do it? They just then looking for this, a lot of time searching for this unicorn. And the idea is, okay, when I find this unicorn, I have just hard to look for this unicorn. And if I found it, okay, I put it in my corporate process. So something with agile and waterfall and Scrum and so on. And then it will happen that we have a $1 billion or more business in the end. Of course, when you do it for 7 years in the normal planning of a corporate, it will never happen because it's a digital project. So what normally faced that, yeah, they're still searching and searching and searching and doesn't start anything. And yeah, the unicorn only passed by because they never started doing something like this. So out of the fog, back in the reality, what I found out for myself, for us, to starting new really startups which we can grow. There's normally not this one single element. You have to find an ecosystem of elements. Try to find a topic group where you are interested in, where our problems are, and try to scale an ecosystem of products to find out which products really make sense to grow. And often it's a combination out of several elements you have to grow. Also, when you think about one of the biggest successes, I think, in Germany, especially Rocket Internet, in doing this in the startup world, they don't have just this one single product. They are hunting for a lot of different startups and start just developing it. Normally you have 1 out of 100, 1 out of 10 of the startups who are really one startup would make sense to scale and get really revenue out. The other one you have to kill in the end. So you have to have a huge portfolio of startups to find one out of them which really makes sense and bring you the value you want to have. And when you have the idea and start it, don't think in this long period of planning. The startup don't plan for 5 years or for 7 years, neither for 1 year. It makes sense to go start really fast, find the problems, pivot it. Otherwise, you will end up like Nokia. Yeah, it end up in bankruptcy when you're too slow. So building new business in a digital world means you have to be really fast on what you're doing. And often when you're in the corporate world, you have to deliver on a business plan and they believe in this business plan. In a 5-year business plan, when you're starting a startup, you don't know if it makes sense. If normally the numbers you have written there, just any number, this will never happen. It's just something to see if there is any mechanic. It makes sense to start this business, but you have to prove it. Normally, to get real these numbers is something like you're playing lotto. This thing you're more lucky to get exactly this shot. And don't do it alone. When you start a startup, you start really small. Find the partners which are essential to grow your business model in the end. For example, Airbnb are based on just real partnerships. A lot of partnerships in the world are now the most, I think, nearly the biggest hotel company and insurance company in the world. by partnerships. They own not one single hotel or bedroom. They're just partnering with others and scale their business model. And also in the smart world, in the corporate world, often when you have these ideas, they try to find a fit to exactly their business model. If you do it exactly in their corporate strategy, often it's just something involving a product out there, but it's not something fancy, new, innovative. Try to find ideas which make sense, try to evaluate it. It could be out of the normal strategy. Don't try to press it in. Try to find out if it makes sense. And one really important point you heard really often is, I don't believe in. Believing is really something nice, but you have to prove it as a startup. Prove the business model. Don't believe and say, no, this will never happen. Otherwise, when you say for every point it will never happen, don't think about this will work out. You have to prove it. Otherwise, it's as wrong as this. And the most important thing, don't talk about it, start it. Often so we see this, we have to look for idea, oh, maybe is this the right idea, should we do this, make next meeting, think about it. Don't think about it. If you're passionate and if you think about this could be an idea, test it. Really don't talk, really start it. So let's start. One example of this, together with a big energy utility, we started 6 months ago, a company builder project. You know, currently with the big power plants, the nuclear power plants in Germany, it makes no sense anymore. So we have to find new business model. We say, okay, what are the assets of this company? It's in the energy space. So energy, warming up your home. So what could be products to build up an ecosystem, what I showed in a few slides before, where we can scale really a business model. And the first one we started with is really far away from producing really electricity. We're going for oil. Why? Because we found a really consumer need. We said, okay, something with energy delivery, and let's build together a product. And this the first product we did in this company build is the Oil Fox. It's you can measure your oil tank. We see have a prediction algorithm that sees when you're getting low. We're checking the market prices and see what is the cheapest offer for you. So send you just a message when you have to deliver, just to rebuy oil when it makes sense. So shrinking all these processes from looking in your basement, comparing prices and so on to just one click for you. And to get such a business model, first element is really don't start somewhere for the business model, for KPIs, start with the user first. Understand who is the user and what are the user needs. So we go really there in deep and see what are the user where's their problem. And there's where we discuss the problem with this oil, checking the oil, buying the oil, comparing and so on. So we started from this point. Then we checked, okay, where could we sell this product? Who is really on this point where the customer have a pain. And we find out these are the guys who are delivering the oil or when you check in the internet for the oil. So we acquired partners exactly in this space who can sell our product in this particular moment where the user has the need of the product, when you realize, okay, you have a problem. When you have found your model, don't focus on your business plan, on the hard numbers of EBIT and so on. The first years, normally you lose a lot of money. Focus on the customer value. The customer lifetime value, how many money you get with your customer over time, and how much you have to spend to acquire one customer. These are really the hard numbers to grow a startup. And then you see, okay, is this growing or not, and prove these values. And one point that's really hard here in Germany, I think, sell it till you make it. Don't build a product of 5 or 6, 7 years, or 1 year, or 3 months, or 4 months. Check. Go out, after 3 weeks, we deliver the first products and see if the market likes the product or not. Make a market proof. Try to sell it. If someone is paying you, okay, this makes maybe sense, and scale this. And of course, it's every time to market. You are competing against other startups in this field, so you have to be really fast. You could not run in corporate processes. You have to run outside of corporate processes and run as fast as the startup is doing this. Otherwise, other startups will overhaul you and get you on top of your business model. And 2 minutes left, cool. Often it's difficult also where to start with an idea. Often you have so many ideas and it's difficult to find, okay, which one should I take, makes it really sense to do this. What we did it in a team, just selecting the ideas and say, okay, which one we like most, where we are mostly passionate in it, because also there, it's the same when you do a startup in a startup way, it's the team who driving this particular product with vision and passion to the end. So you have to be passionate with the idea and you have to feel comfortable with it. So we decided as a team, okay, let's take this, in this case we take 2 products and scale it, or try to scale it. And of course, you have to be sure that one of them on the run will die. So what I, in the end, conclusion learned, digital transformation in corporates, it's not a tale, it's possible, you can do it, but you have to be sure, you have to really work like a startup, you have to act like a startup. But the nice thing is with big corporates, together when you drive this, you can drive a portfolio and get really on speed and can make really huge and test a lot of stuff out where we can be much faster and better, I guess, like just on a plain startup field. And then we can, be hopefully more successful. That's it. Hey, 5 Sekunden. Thank you.